Welcome everybody to our coverage of our second NBFL game tonight. This is an AFC Divisional round playoff match between Relizites, Miami Corona Blights, the Red Rats on my left, and the Blue Chaos Dwarves, the new Ziggland Chariots.
Oh, you fucker.
Okay.
Sorry.
Wolves
Wolves leaving and coming back just made me lose all my markings.
All your markings, yeah. So now we have to cheer against him. Okay. A new feature added relatively recently is the ability for spectators to mark. So whenever we're doing commentary or just, good old-fashioned watching, we can now mark this so we know who's who, what's what, and what people should be doing that they're not doing, because we clearly know better than them. But if someone leaves the game, all the markings go away. So it's kind of a yikes. So we've got Chaos Dwarves, we've got Rats, and we've got, what is it, eyeballing it, 420 inducements. What is Rel going to get? A keg, a wizard, and a star, which is Glart. Interesting.
Well, okay.
Do you think you should have just bought a lot of Rats?
I personally just think Skitter's better.
True, he's pretty good. Also,
they're both very good. It's hard to go wrong with the cheap rat stars. Well, the weapons roll. As long as you're, even though he can be fun, Fesvich can be fun, but yeah, I mean, Glart. This is the new Glart, right? Or no, or, I have no idea which Glart this is, but
this is
one of them.
The dad, I think.
Yeah, and then, but I mean, I like Skitter. I like Hackflim. Of course, just kind of depends on what he needs.
He needs a lot of bodies.
Right. I mean, you definitely want something, and you can definitely say, hey, Glart can stay a little bit longer, and the Clock is a little bit more useful than. I mean, it's fairly useful in this game, right?
Yeah. Got to take out that Minotaur after all. That dastardly Minotaur that was added last game. There's a rookie gutter runner out there.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah, Rel's team is not the team that we remember it being. But it's still pretty good and can still steal a game based on these three freaks in the back in particular.
Well, and Wizard, one-turner. I mean, he has another one-turn on the bench.
Oh, shit. He does.
So, it's, there's always a path there, no matter how, bad the team looks. And, yeah, he got a little bit more of a bench with the star. I mean, I guess you could have tried to do a couple, Mercs instead, but realistically, I think this game is going to be largely decided very quickly.
Won or lost on the flip of a coin, basically, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's just you could very easily see, if Wolves gets a couple removals and can withstand the Wizard, that this could, snowball in one direction. And the other hand, if the Wizard pays off early and Rel can get the lead, and then Wolves feels like he's chasing the whole game, we could see it go pretty extreme the other way.
Yeah, to be fair, there's one Chaos Dwarf team that is built to score in this league, and this is that one. They've got the two freaks for both centaurs.
I'll be honest, I don't know if you needed that in this league qualifier.
It's true. I'm not sure we've ever seen a Chaos Dwarf team have two players like this. Granted, I think they were both draftees from various sources, so you don't usually get these kind of things naturally, and you probably will never see them again moving to 2020. So we'll see.
Well, I mean, I think you're not going to see all of these at once. You're definitely not going to see them outside of here. We'll see overall, and yeah, and on this side, this very well could be the last we see of any natural one-turners.
We got some bribes, though.
I mean, they're not going to be available in the next one. Ooh, I think that's clearly a good thing for Wolves.
Yeah, especially since he's receiving and has a dirty player on the field.
No, they both have DPs.
Rel has a dirty player too, but you get a free foul off the gate. Not that any of these things are worth fouling on the line of scrimmage, but that star player right there might be.
Yeah, I mean, the lack of Mighty Blow that Wolves has available. I mean, we'll see what happens, right? Like, when I played him a few weeks ago, I thought that, he doesn't have that much Mighty Blow, so I would play differently. And, yeah,
Anyway,
87 still gets broke, right? If you give up blocks. So I didn't really play that right, but
okay, Wolves actually maybe going for the dirty player to neutralize that possibility. Well,
yeah.
a bribe's still a bribe, but okay. Boy, it sure be nice if you had 4 rerolls. You might be able to burn one on something like that.
I mean,
You shouldn't, but you could.
right, fair.
It's more easy to burn a 4th one than it is your 3rd one. Or use 6 and use them all in one turn. One day, Amon, and that day is not that far off. I used 3 in one turn in my NCBB game. Still couldn't actually make the play I needed, but it may be an Imperial Noble issue more than a reroll issue. Or 8, yeah. Also, someone, I think, jokingly sent something about 12 rerolls. Is that possible?
I have no idea. I don't know what the limit of buying them is.
Gark says 8 is the max.
Okay, but you can get a leader as well, so you have that going for you.
Okay.
But yeah, we'll see. I'm sure somebody will consider trying something like that, and I will hate every moment of it because I really just like shitting on everyone's fun. Well, Gark, maybe it's a good thing if you drop out of the league then.
Damn. Yeah, now I'm confused what Gark is doing. Granted, I think we said that several times during his game earlier, but we've also said that a lot in this playoffs. We watched this New Ziggland team play against Asti's Orcs, and we were just befuddled for much of the game by the strategy of both coaches. So maybe we don't know what we're doing since neither of us made the playoffs.
I mean, I think we certainly don't know what we're doing. No, one of the things I talked about early also, Gark, was that we weren't sure if you were coming back next season or not.
Yes, you had posted in the message thread that real life might be busy or something.
I'm going to be honest, I don't understand this at all. It's just like
baiting the wizard, but the bulls are not
a
great spot.
I don't get the handoff right. I mean,
it's a good hit though for the Minotaur, but yeah, you're handing off to a guy who's already niggled. You don't have any options to reverse field.
No, I'm fine with the positioning. Like, I don't mind that at all. I just think the act of handing off, like, was it a problem with just being back one in your cage and having it be the other hobgoblin just walk in, so you wouldn't have to burn one of your 3 rerolls?
Right. Same thing we saw in the game earlier. There was a handoff that was just not really necessary, and it ended up biting one team.
Yeah, I mean that the handoff itself, I think, made a little more sense there. Just needed to be in a different place and needed to be re-rolled. But I can understand more wanting to get the ball in your thrower's hands and then running a more traditional drive potentially.
I mean, we've talked about how Wolves.
And there's the wizard right away.
There's the wizard. 2 stuns, doesn't get the ball, but you open up a path to the ball potentially. Maybe too early. It depends on whether you get this ball out or not.
Yeah, and I think I agree with Amon. That being said, like, I've definitely probably been overly conservative, but yeah, I think it's you kind of almost had to get the Ong or Wilson. Obviously, you get Wilson, it's great, but
yeah, the blockers there getting both would have been creme de la creme, but
right,
one's still very much in the way.
And there's not, I mean, your cage dive's not great or like the obvious cage dive's not great because it's a 4+. Now you can do a couple 2+s and go around.
I thought the other Skaven Blitzer might be hitting from that square.
Yeah, same.
So, okay. I mean, I like that guy going downfield.
I mean, I can't imagine we're going to 1 die.
Not with the gutter. Or the other gutter. And we're not dodging We're not dodging in between the ball, the bull, and the blocker, are we?
Well, I mean, we could, you know, double dodge, right?
Above the
But like
blocker.
that's making it a 3+ instead of a 2+ for the last one. Or yeah, you're just doing the straight 4+. But if you're doing that, there's no reason to do the
Assist.
assist. I don't know. I mean,
1, 2, 3,
it doesn't
4,
really
5,
matter
6,
what
7.
direction you hit things.
Oh, he's
Okay,
going for the
just roll the
4
4.
and then using wrestle, which is the newest skill for Mr. Meyer. And that's a bad bounce for Rel? I'm not
He
sure.
has a 6. He has a 6-edge gutter. It really doesn't
Right,
matter.
but you gotta get through a lot of tackle. But you still have your reroll.
Right. I mean, it's 2+, 2+, 2+, 2+.
Are you throwing it to a
Yeah, he's just
person
gonna
or to a square?
he's just gonna punt it. Ooh, that makes it in. Oh,
That
okay then.
sucks.
That is.
All right, game, set, match. It's over.
Well, I mean, any fail hurts there. But yeah, no, I mean, well, the
I'm
thing is,
half kidding, but not really, probably.
it definitely changes things in a hurry, doesn't it?
Yeah.
I would have been a little tempted as well just to like wait another turn and just kind of see what Wolvez was going to do, because knowing Wolvez, I think there was a high chance he would have just banged it in like
Yeah,
on turn
just
3.
go down and score, yeah.
And if that happens as well, I just think you're in a great spot. Because like you know, a shootout's not bad for you. You know, if it lets you potentially get KOs back.
Yeah.
It also lets you kind of control the pace a little bit. But I get wanting to use it. I feel that wasn't quite the right space.
Yeah, the 4+ dodge.
That being
I think
said,
was a bit much.
we were a couple 2+s away from it very clearly working, right? Like it's not like it couldn't work. I don't think that was the right place. I think that having the threat of the wizard for a little longer, you can't. That's kind of the issue with him only having 12, though, right? You can't rely on the threat of the wizard for too long.
Because then you have no team left, yeah.
All right. Now, one thing he has going for him is Meyer can break cages, but of course, if the ball is now in the 5-strength bull's hands, which really I think it should have been anyway.
Right.
Potentially. I mean, I don't know. But
there goes.
Yeah, I think there's a pretty good chance this ends up just kind of being a steamroll now.
If we haven't used our blitz, we could certainly use the Minotaur on the line rat and then get the dirty player up here and foul Meyer, who is AB6. Or Troy Smith. That's a tough call, honestly. But probably go with Meyer since it's literally the only sack threat left.
Yeah, probably Meyer. I mean, that's kind of my main issue with Rel's team is that none of the gutters are good sackers. And in this case, not having any strip ball on a rat team's tough. But, I mean, Meyer covers a lot of sins, right? And obviously Rel's done very well with him. And, I love Troy Smith, and you definitely need at least one of the 2 one-turners. I think both is a little overly redundant, but it's, if he ever lost one, having the other one would keep him, just as competitive.
Yep.
But I am curious where he goes with this. That feels risky.
Meyer's there on a 2 and then a shit. If he doesn't
Not only
mark
that,
the other Stormvermin, you get a 1 die with wrestle and tackle.
Even if you do mark it, it's a fairly simple dodge.
I mean,
and if you're Rel right now, this drive's largely lost. You don't really mind just throwing rerolls in to try to turn it around, and if you don't, you don't. He shows his blitz.
Yep.
Okay. I forgot about that. That makes sense then. At least some. Still curious where this guy's going to end.
Probably southwest? No. You go down 1. Well, I don't think you do that. How are you going the long way?
Well, and this is why you should never be nice. You gotta win. Like it's the playoffs. You got to wizard them. Wolves has to learn how to speed up a little bit. You won't learn if you don't make him learn.
True. That's actually pretty big. Not using the APO is questionable, or are we just giving up on the drive already?
I mean, I think you're thinking I have the babe, right? So
Yeah.
this drive is just it's not over, but it's close. You're gonna get one shot, right? Probably, presumably, this next turn.
One more shot, but yeah.
Yeah, and which I would go for. You know, this is a 3+, 2+, 2+ for one die on the ball.
Then you got
You
the
got-
movement 10 gutter at the bottom to come get it. You can put the other gutter like down at midfield and screen off with the rat and do something
Or you
there.
go in, depending on where the ball ends up, you can get it from one gutter to the other, and who knows. But if this fails, then I think the drive's done either way. And so using the Apple on a KO wouldn't have helped.
Neither does the push.
All right, well, now we just get to wait for 6 turns, most likely.
Yeah. See, I know getting the 1 die there is more appealing than the -2 die, but I feel like having to do that many dodges without dodge was risky, and so I probably would have gone for the -2.
Right now? I don't know. I think the 3+ was probably worth doing.
Yeah, but I'm scared.
The only reason I wasn't sure with Gark doing it, because he did something similar, right, was because he had to use both of his Edge 5s to do it, and so it made it so he didn't have a
Pick up.
good recovery.
Yeah.
If he could have done it, and maybe there was a way to do it where at least one of those 2 were available, but we'll see. Now, I mean, the other thing is how safe does Wolves get the ball?
Yeah, I mean, he's already used 3 players. The bull at the top is marked. Do you just go backwards a couple squares?
Yeah, you don't really have to advance. I think you just need the ball in the cage and kill some time.
Kill some time and kill some rats. There's literally no reason to score. And the GFIs are too risky.
I mean, he can't reach this turn anyway, but...
Oh, okay. Well, I just saw Gark's comment in chat. I'm just like...
Yeah, I don't think he was talking about, right now. Oh, yeah, I guess he could hand off to Wilson and score. That is true.
Technically. If we're throwing this block, we need to...
Bro, he has sidestep.
Move the ball first. Oh, my God. Do we want to go next to the ball, though?
I think now that the reroll's gone, I'd consider it.
I think I would just go north. Either way, it's a 2, yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it being the Blitzer being AV6 complicates everything.
Yeah. If I was a blodger, I might have put him on the ball, but...
I think I still would have, just because I think, there's a non-zero chance that your opponent would panic there.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously he should just block, but I don't think he would have expected the situation really.
I think we just put the ball in the middle of that crater and put the hobgoblin to the right, and yeah, it works too.
Yeah, I mean, the ball ends up in a good spot. If he just did these things before throwing that one block, that was a really good turn. But that one block was,
too early.
Yeah. Because, I mean, the other thing is, if you had this safe, you wouldn't have necessarily had to use the reroll there.
No, there's no reason to. I mean, we've been saying for years that he should get rid of Russell Wilson, so him dying on a double skull in the playoffs seems poetic.
That's big.
Could be. It does free up the strength for Juggernaut.
Oh, never mind. That one's he's 5 MA, so it's not big. I lied. The is the other one 7? Yeah, the other one's 7. I get those two confused.
Is it? All right, let
Yeah,
me see.
the old
Chaos
the
Dwarf team rosters. Are we looking at like old players?
these are just the two. No, I'm talking about Glart. The original, or there's two Glarts. One of them 7 MA, Block Claw Juggernaut.
Okay.
The other's 5 MA, but has Block Grab Juggernaut Stand Firm and Claw.
Come on, Fumble. You can do it. Load faster. This is a gark amount of dice to get this hit on the ball.
Yeah.
And I don't say that as a good thing. Chaos Dwarf rosters. Oh, I'm looking at routes. Duh.
I mean, but again, like, as long as you have like any sort of prayer, you need to go for it until you don't.
Okay,
Now,
you were correct though. Glart Jr., at least in 2016, was moving 7 Block Claw Juggernaut Loner.
I mean, yeah, I like literally had it up and was reading it while I said what they had.
That's a weird thing to have on at all times. God, he cannot dodge.
I mean, as you said, it's a bunch of dice. But it's, I guess 2 plus 2 plus.
There are 2s.
2 plus.
Just, man.
Yeah, I think, it's getting closer and closer to being over with the drive, but he's going to keep taking the shots as long as he can. But at this point, you got one more, right? Because you're saving that last reroll. Ooh.
If that dirty player wasn't next to my AV6 guy. I mean, this is
another situation, right? Where this is, I mean, if Rel doesn't win, this is the team's last game because he's leaving us for a little bit.
True.
Although I know he didn't say so, but he did tell me he's probably going to come back in a year and a half, 2 years, something like that.
Right.
But so, like, I mean, just throw in the Apo into a badly hurt, and if you lose one of your best players, you lose them.
Right, but this drive is probably already over, and so if you make sure you have Meyer for the rest of the game, in theory, obviously, Apos are notorious for fucking up, but
the AV6 complicates it. Although I will be honest, with him on the ground, does the AV even matter?
I don't know. How does fouling work? Neither of us do that thing. So,
hey, I was saying Gark should have fouled more in his game earlier today.
It's true. You did say that a couple of times.
And the game before, I was really mad at him for fouling, even though the situation made sense.
Also
but you fouled after I brought it up, so.
Correct.
Okay, so I mean, this is what happens with this gutter's pretty big. Because if he got badly hurt, you have to throw the Apo in. I mean, I think this is a pretty clear foul.
We got to get the ball away first, though.
Mm-hmm. No, Gar, you can't watch the stream. First of all,
not allowed.
I clearly don't know what I was talking about.
To be fair, there was twice in the game where Nelfine did something Dash said not 10 seconds before, so
he could have been watching.
That guy is going to be watching for the rest of the game.
Rel's got to be just like, man, they're all badly hurt. And only one of them's been from the Mighty Blow. Oh, no, never mind. 2 have because of the Minotaur. But, yeah, I mean, you're going to 1 turn on turn 8, and then you're going to see what you can do. I mean, you can 1 turn on turn 8, 2 turn, not do anything. That's true, Gart. You literally did nothing I said.
We were very confused by what you were doing, so clearly you were not watching. No, obviously it would not be good if somebody was watching the commentary and then doing what we told them. That's not allowed. So.
Although, like, how would we know?
We'd probably figure it out eventually. Also, like, it says how many viewers I have. I'm not sure if I can, like, see who they are, per se.
I mean, you can, but what if their name doesn't match, or if they're
not logged in? Coaches are not that creative. They use their same name for
I don't know.
multiple sources.
Boggs Baza fan, so God, like when he
That is
when
kind of-
he showed up with that name on one of my streams and didn't tell me, and I was like, I knew it was him or Garg, but wasn't sure which one.
What are we doing?
We're gang fouling.
Right, but did we need to dodge?
I mean, we've got to risk. Wait, we had to risk the having to use the reroll with the first one,
Yeah.
And the thing is, the only way this ball is getting popped is if your foul fails.
It's true. Literally the only person who can get to the ball and do anything without double pow is.
Also, I'm not gonna lie. The fact that this turn is at 3 minutes and 43 seconds is driving me crazy.
Yeah.
I know they're not in the new rules, but we're keeping timeouts in because if not, I might die in some of these games.
I mean, maybe it's just psychological warfare. Maybe some of the coaches who play longer turns in this league are just they know how excruciating it is.
Well, yeah, exactly. It's blatant disrespect of your opponent, and Asti is the hero of the people
for 1 minute turns.
For just timing everyone out,
That too.
He's definitely not the asshole. He's the good one.
He's the guy in the white hat, I guess. Yeah, I mean, clearly Nuffle smiled upon you in those Super Bowls against the slower Gru. He said, man, this guy takes too long. He's using a team that's too good. We can't let him have his way. Let's help these silly Wood Elves out. And the rest was history. Are we still pretending that we're going to try to play defense?
I don't really know what we're doing.
Well, we're fouling the Minotaur, but... What? Is he fouling his own gutter runner? Wouldn't that be something? Skaven treachery at its finest. Yeah, I would have been inclined to run towards this corner in this wonderful checkerboard pattern that he has down there with this orange and bright-ass teal.
Yeah. I mean... Anyway, so what are we going to talk about for the next couple of turns?
I don't know. How are the Houston Texans look in training camp or whatever?
I don't know, man. I don't follow the NFL.
Okay, how about the Mavericks and Rockets? They traded players the other day. We're getting your old center, Christian Wood, and you're getting 4 guys of ours who never played, also a draft pick.
Yeah, I don't think anyone really cares about my thoughts on Christian Wood, except for maybe you.
Well, I'm the only one here, so...
Well, no, other people are listening, so we should probably at least talk about Blood Bowl.
Oh, okay,
but
I'm 0-1. Well, 0-1 with Nobles. I had a good game against Rumi's Undead, but couldn't quite get some of the roles I needed. I was also doing commentary for one of the playoff games at the same time, and so my spacing on 2 plays in particular, I wish I would have taken back, but yeah, I think Nobles have a chance to be usable, would be my analysis after 1 game.
Yeah, I think they do eventually. As far as NBFL goes, 29 coaches have responded on if they're coming back next season. 27 of them have said yes, 1 has said maybe, and 1 has said no. And we are going to peer pressure the maybe into staying. So we've only got 1 no out of 28.
I did love Stim's response, and it's amazing because Stim doesn't seem active on Discord if he's on it really at all.
Oh no, Gark! I'm going to peer pressure you by telling you to leave, and then you're going to stay. That's just how it's going to work.
That's usually how peer pressure works.
But
that was fast. Good job, guys.
Damn, done. We're still waiting on Kazarek, Garnak, and Nico, which
isn't super surprising. I know Garnak's been busy, and then Nico just isn't.
Oh, yeah,
on Discord.
Garnak's had some stuff going on, and Kazarek, I know he doesn't really like the new rules. We'll see. But
bro, it's just Blood Bowl.
Yeah. And then Not sure if everyone who's responded is going to keep their team or change, because I didn't really ask for that at first, but then people started telling us.
Most
so I was
people
like, yeah,
started
sure.
saying it anyways. Yeah. On
So
that
then I was
note,
like, go ahead.
I love Stim's response because Asti had said, "I'm switching to corn, or if I can switch to corn, I'm in, and if I can't, I'm in." And then Stim goes, "I'm in if Asti can switch to corn, and if not, I'm in." So I thought it was funny. Stim, for a guy like I don't ever really talk to, he seems like a funny guy.
Yeah, he's just he's in Europe now, but
Well, that's
he's a good guy.
a damn
I played him
shame.
a decent amount before I joined the league, and I like never beat him. I'm pretty sure.
I mean, he's good, and there's some things that he does I can't fathom or explain, or it's not in the Blood Bowl coaching 101, and he just gets it done. Oh yeah.
Nice, knocking himself out.
uh, all this to just have Rel win with one turners. Well,
I mean, like relying on the one turn, like Rel's one turners aren't like that good. Like they're good, but now the Edge 6 actually helps a ton with the one turning because it has sure hands, and it doesn't have pass, but you can pass from like anywhere with it pretty well.
pretty easily. Yeah.
But the one turners themselves, I mean, leap helps for sure, but especially in a game like this where they have a lot of tackle. But it's
Neither has two heads.
relying on
Neither
it
has catch.
purely is not great.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think taking catch is really worth it. I don't think it increases your odds enough.
That's
Two
fair.
heads is huge.
Yeah, two heads makes a lot of sense.
But yeah, I mean, it is one that I'm glad they're going away. The naturals, right? Like, you need to at least be able to like making it so you have to find one push. Okay, that's fine. At least you have to do something.
Right.
But the natural is just meh.
Cheating. So yeah, no more one turners. What else is going away? Monkeys, more or less.
Ad 6 is going away.
Ad 6 is going away. Passing is dead apparently.
Leap's worse. I mean, passing's different.
Leap's worse for some people.
But
my frogs don't care, I think.
Well, yeah, because your frogs aren't actually in the new rules, so
Also
they don't
true.
really count.
Also, we just did a test game in the NCBB the other day just to make sure the rule set was working that we implemented because we changed the MVP, so I want to make sure everything was working. And we did a test game with Simeon and Frogs just because of those two to make sure they were also in the rule set correctly. But I did a leap action with just some random guy, and I couldn't leap next to me. And apparently you have to leap a square away from you now? That's something in the rules?
I mean, it already takes 2 movement. I don't know. I haven't used actual like leap as opposed to jump. I haven't really used jump much too, but I need to decide if I should try one Wood Elf season in the new rules or not, because like they do clearly like have gotten worse. So it might be cool to kind of like
frogs do have poker stick, which I think was just basically to keep them leaping on a 3, but maybe there's something in the wording somewhere that I mean I haven't read the rules, I don't have them, but basically I couldn't jump just next to me. I had to jump a square away further, which generally I'm assuming I usually would jump 2 squares in most cases anyways, but it's just something I was like, oh, that's actually fairly useful to know.
Yeah. But yeah, we'll see. I really need to make a decision.
Bro, how is this game 35 minutes? There's 4 players on the field in red to move, and 2 of them ain't moving.
Yeah, well, I don't think it's the team in red that's,
treacherous.
It's
the fastest Moses ever played.
Double skulls there would be really bad.
It's true. You didn't really plan for that. I mean, it wouldn't be devastating as any of your strength 5 blodge, but
I mean, hey, double pow the other way all of a sudden.
Yeah, I mean, it's possible.
Okay, yeah, that's true. It being 5 strength blodge means it's really not that big of a deal, no matter what.
Plus, there's 2 other ball carriers right there. But I mean, we've seen stranger things happen. Probably.
Yeah, fumble. I'm pretty sure is keeping it because you can't play an online game without a time limit.
It's true.
But I mean, NBFL is probably going to be like you can't use timeout. Although, like, we're going to need something in on like you need to respect your opponent's time, right? Like, you can't ask me to block off 3 hours to play a game. So don't be taking 12-minute turns.
That's crazy.
And I mean, I think 4-minute turns is way more than enough. That's needed. Like, I mean, 4 minutes in CRP, like that's the time limit in theory for tabletop, where like you actually have to do stuff. Yeah, 45 seconds on Blood Bowl 1 was a little short. I did like 2 minutes.
Wait, I'm sorry. Blood Bowl 1 had 45-second turns?
No, there were 3 options. It was like either 40 or 45 seconds, 2 minutes or 4 minutes.
That's crazy.
And I mainly use. Oh, okay.
Does he? I mean, yeah. I mean, technically, you can get a skill relatively soon. Oh, there goes our bribe, in theory.
Yep.
Bribe's gone.
It works.
Stays. Rat's out for now.
Yeah, Gart, finding out that they had like the little chess clock type thing, that's like clearly the best way to do it, where you have a time bank.
Yeah, I don't know anything about chess, but if that's the same system, it makes so much sense.
I like Blood Bowl 2, so it's a 2-minute turn, but you also have like 15 seconds to make decisions on like choosing your block dice or to sidestep or follow or whatever, so you can stretch it.
I do vaguely remember that, yeah.
But for the most part, because it automatically ends after 2 minutes, so like, I think my average game time there is like 58 minutes or something, which is bad.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
Yeah, almost a pitch clear. I mean, if you're early on, if I was Raw, I would be like, man, these are all bad hurts. But he did get the KOs down the stretch, so can't really complain too much. He still has his Apo.
Yeah, small bribe. Could come in handy, maybe.
Man, I would be. Yeah, so I was about to say, actually, like, is Wilves willing to
just make
risk
the GFI
the snake
for taking out a random gutter? No.
I mean, hey, that's a way to not lose because of 1 turns.
That's true. They can't 1 turn if you just hold the ball the entire half.
And then there's only 1 KO rolls back. I mean, hey, you never know. Maybe it's the right play.
Maybe it's the right play. It's probably not the right play, but
no. I mean, you could maybe convince me that like the chance of a snake is for a surf is like just because of the situation, because you're limiting KOs.
It is a surf, yeah, as opposed to just like a random blitz.
But you've got to just score. Like,
how have you not?
See, actually, I think this is interesting. They says normally it would be worth it because, like, normally I think it's absolutely not worth it.
Right.
But I could almost talk myself into it with this very specific game state. But I still wouldn't do it.
No.
Because I once in NCBB quad scold against Go Trick before scoring.
Right.
Never again.
Never
The worst part was I could have easily made it a 3-die.
Yeah. Now, to be fair, triple and is like, I guess, sextuple skulls. Technically, that's possible too, but
it's less likely.
Yeah. Just always make it a 3-die.
Oof, that. Okay, so he got half of his KOs back, but not the ones he most wanted.
True. Those are the good
Oh, well, he got the 6 edge. The 6 edge is a pretty big deal.
For this turn, yes.
Wolves, I'm going to forfeit you for making me put in these markings again.
Oh, yeah, we just lost them all again. Bro, how is Java that bad for you?
He's killing me.
Killing me, Smalls. You know what? I'm not marking him. I'm not marking him again.
I mean,
I'm not doing it. I refuse. I'm going to do this the old-fashioned way. I will sit forward in my chair and highlight the players I'm talking about.
It's an option.
He's using Windows 95. Still better than the operating system my work computer uses. Also, that monitor's old as crap. I think half the time the color turns yellow instead of green. I'll send you one of my 3 PCs. Like, I've got 2 extras that I'm not using. It's gotta be better than what you're using at this
Why
rate.
do you have 3?
I had a
Just old ones?
very basic one. And then I was like, oh, my friends and I are going to start playing games on PC. So I had to get like an actual like gaming one. And then I was like, oh, this thing's not great. Let's get a better one.
Yeah, I have 2. I have my
Do they have a
laptop, which used to be the only thing I had.
I think the second one has a 1080. Maybe it was a 1070. This one's a 2070. So it's cool.
Then I ended up making a computer because I bet $30 on Northwestern to win the Big Ten West in 2020 at 40-1 odds, and then they did so.
Nice.
So I was like, cool.
2020 was the shortened season, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, still counts.
Yeah, I mean, I had my reasoning, and then it worked out, and I was like, this is awesome. And so Asti helped me like figure out everything to get.
Nice. Yeah, my friends are all into building their own PC and ordering specific parts and shit. I'm like, you know what? Give me this pre-built one. I don't have to worry about a thing.
Yeah, I mean, it was just like putting it together was a challenge for me. It really wasn't that hard, but I didn't have a cord to actually connect it to the monitor for the first time because like all of mine were like adapters.
Yep.
Like 2 different ends, and I thought everything was broken, and I was like,
what did I do?
Oh yeah, because like the chance of me doing something completely wrong and fucking everything up just feels really likely to me.
Yeah, that's why I have no interest in learning to make my own.
But yeah.
All right, so Wolves is back, probably, maybe. My markings are all gone. There's a skill to be gained after this game for one of them blockers. So.
Yeah, could be big. We don't know who he's going to play.
True.
That game did not happen yesterday.
What is it, Malcor and Jamon? You said it's either Friday night or Saturday morning, potentially?
Yeah, let me find a PM thread, which I guess Malcor was actually in here for an earlier game. I could have asked him to. Oh no, we're waiting on Jamon. They were talking about potentially Friday at I think 7 our time, and then Jamon was like, "Could you play early Saturday morning instead?" And Malcolm was like, "I could do 10 a.m. Eastern." So
9 our time.
Yeah, so we'll see. So
ironically, for like the first time ever, I actually open tomorrow morning, so I should probably go to bed at a reasonable time, which I won't. But I would be around Friday night, and then I close Saturday night, so I'd be around Saturday morning technically. So.
Yeah, I probably can't do tomorrow, so But Saturday morning I might be able to. We'll see.
Yeah, I would not be happy about waking up early 2 days in a row. But also, how does a Chaos Dwarf team get this far and have literally 0 stand firm?
Don't ask me that. I don't want to talk about that, to be honest. I just that is the part of this team that drives me mad.
There's a lot of parts of this team that drives you mad, and we talk bad about them every time they draft, every time we do a season preview. This doesn't work. Here's the textbook for Chaos Dwarves. You are literally not following any of it, and yet he's in the second round of the playoffs.
Yeah, he might make the
conference championship.
The second year in a row. Although this setup's interesting. I guess we're all solo on players that it could be fine, but like. Because you're just going to leap over anyway. But like, yeah, I mean, there are
seen this before.
There are a host of skills that I would like. I'm not huge under the plus MAs. I'm not huge under the dodges. I'm not huge under the plus AV. Although I think that was a draft pick.
Yes, that seems like a expansion draft kind of player.
The grab's
fine.
Although. Yeah, and it did kind of win him the game last time. But
did it win him the game, or did his opponent, forgetting about it, lose them the game?
Counts.
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, I don't love using the star player for the block, but he's got block.
Well, it's more that like you really don't have to do the block at all.
It's true, but I suppose if you set up like this in case there's a
Oh, Wolves, don't be saying that now. You're not going to break
yeah,
armor a single time the rest of the game now.
this man is just tempting fate. I was gonna say perfect defense probably nullifies your scoring attempt regardless of where you set up the gutter. Blitz doesn't matter here. Probably, I mean the bull centaur could in theory get there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, he could technically blitz Mr. Mason if he wanted to.
Yeah, so you should probably have him on the other side. The gutter, I mean.
True.
Nope.
Ooh.
Or we just get a riot.
Interesting. But,
One game late.
True. We were asking for that, even though I think we mercifully wanted that game to end. But I think you still have to go for the one turn, right?
No.
But how would you defend? I mean, I guess you could do like a sideline cage and have the leaper there because you could just get over that.
Yeah, I mean he probably
Okay, that guy's in scoring range technically in case something happens.
Yeah.
Also, didn't you just block your path? Yeah, we're not getting a one turn here. Put him on column 11 and...
Yeah, because you can't get the ball into that
1, 2,
pocket.
3, 4, 5, yeah.
You gotta stay back.
Loner on the lino up top. You do have 2 rerolls, so if you want to get away from the minnow, for example.
Okay, dodge with the loner first. But yeah, I think you should have blitzed with Glart if you're going to do this. So you could have Glart down there like somewhere and do things. But hey.
Well, this is kind of why you mark that Hob. So Glart's probably free here, unless the Hob comes over. Yeah, I guess the Hob could sit right there on column 11. Keep old Glart occupied.
Yeah, I think if possible, I would have liked to get Troy Smith into range and have the ball in the other gutter's hands in the back.
Well, we were under the impression it was a one-turn opportunity.
Yeah, Rel. I mean, you're playing AV7. People seem to think the only way you can beat AV7 is to remove everything, when the team's literally built to be able to play well, even if you remove almost everything.
Yeah. That's why Wolves has smartly made his team able to score with them, but not better than them.
No. But anyway. Yeah, blitz the one. Oh, got the POW.
Damn. Brutal.
That's big. Yeah, because now he's going to be able to like 1, 2, 3.
I mean, I realized that was probably the blitz you were going to do, like, no matter what on this turn, but getting the POW there seems fortuitous.
Oh, yeah, that was the blitz you had to do, though. But, I mean, if you only got to push, like, I mean, I think you could have argued that you re-roll it as well, because you can just kind of leave the back line as is.
True. I mean, I would have liked moving the Hob down to touch.
You can really justify double marking. Okay, or not. I was going to say double marking the gutter, like on both sides, the rookie with that Hob, and then doing almost nothing with the back line.
Yeah, I would take the bull and double mark the gutter. But we're going to throw this block on the mine rat so we can tag. What? Well, I guess that's fine because the gutter's not going in another direction.
Touch backwards. But yeah, I do think if he brings everyone up, he's
That's a
I mean,
awful GFI, right? Because if you fail that, there's a huge gap there.
yeah. I mean, yeah, like it's better just to leave him in the back. You're putting yourself in a. I mean, it works, so it's gonna be fine. But like,
isn't that just pure blood bowl? It
yeah,
wasn't the
there's a
right
reason.
play, but it worked. So
Yeah, I mean, who knows? I might be retiring, so.
I thought you were gonna say something else, and I was like, oh, that's a rude description of yourself. That may be important, having that guy on his feet, although he's a loner. How far can Troy Smith get? 1, 2, 7, 8, 9. I'm looking for chain opportunities. I'm not sure there's going to be many. That's important, though. Because I was going to use Mason to complete a chain somewhere, potentially.
I mean, it's just you throw the block with the loner. Glart blitzes the guard. You're going to have to you dodge the line rat through, and then you just throw it to him in the end zone. It's not. I mean, like honestly, this score's probably higher odds than if he just left himself in the black line.
Oh no, he's gonna go for the. Is that a 5+ catch?
Yeah, I think.
Oh god.
Okay.
He did go for the 4+ earlier. He's blitzing.
Okay, I can't support any of this. I don't think that was the play.
Well, whatever
That
it was, it did not work.
probably is the game. Yeah, I mean, I just it's a tough situation, but I might be wrong. I often am, but I think you have to blitz him off with someone else. Although, I mean, if you get the push, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, after seeing how that unfolded, getting the POW on the gutter was fortunate, but that changed a lot of it. I do think the one turn, despite the riot, may have been the play. But I don't coach rats, so I don't know.
I wouldn't have.
Glard on the Chaos Dwarf. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
it seems reasonable.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's what you had to do.
To be fair, Wolves, you do play him twice a season. So.
Also, like a lot of the one turns Rel gets, they aren't on turn 8. They're just like when people aren't defending the whole length of the field. And I hate even doing those because I just think it's like you're eventually going to lose if you keep doing that. But yeah, no, I mean, I don't know. I'm pretty sure if Rel always hit his. I think if Wells' one turns were like over 70%, these rats would have a Super Bowl by now.
Oh yeah, they never lose. Granted, they don't lose very often, anyways. But I do remember very vividly when you went on that rant in one of our broadcasts about teams one turning before turn 8/16. I want to say it was an NCBB game, but I could be wrong. But
it may have been. I mean, there was an NCBB game I was down 3-1, and OTS kept trying to one turn score and kept failing, and I won 4-3 with Undead, and I only had like. I mean, and he was running well on players, but it's like you just got to kill some turns.
Yeah, just do the Baz Dynasty before that was the thing.
There are times where just one turning makes sense. I'm not gonna say like it's never the right thing to do, but
I would recommend turn 8 and 16.
Yeah, but like if you're down by more than one score, if you're in a situation where like it really is just like if it's gonna be really hard to hold the ball and it's really easy, like I'm pretty sure in me and Rel's like shootout Super Bowl, he one turned in the middle of the second half, and then I two turned back, and then he one turned on turn 15, and I one turned on turn 16, and he one turned on turn 16.
Sounds right.
To go to overtime.
Yeah.
But like that was a situation I think where he was trying to get back on defense because he still had a wizard, and I had now Rel's left the game, so now he's going to be the one to unset it.
Yeah,
This
maybe
is just.
maybe it's a good thing I didn't mark players again.
I think whoever wins this game is just forfeiting the Super Bowl out of principle.
But the winner of this game doesn't go to the Super Bowl necessarily. They go to the AFC Championship game. Now they both left the game, so double forfeit. Let's move forward.
Yeah, I'm down.
1 second.
All right.
Podcast.
Yeah, so I guess we just keep hanging out. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not big on one turning early. I do think in the situation of the riot, like I don't think you just one turn if you're Rel, because I think it fails more. Because honestly, if he doesn't roll a POW on that blitz of the one turner, then your chances are pretty good.
That's fair. Here, give me 1 second since we appear to have a moment.
Okay. Yeah, so here we are. I don't know if Rel has, or if Wolvez has realized that Rel left. That's my guess here.
Okay, I'm back. Rel appears to not be.
No, Wolvez has been in and out. So I sent him a message like, if he's just leaving because he's not seeing anything happening.
It's because Rel's also not there.
It's because Rel's just like legitimately not here.
His lunch break got cut early.
Could be. Oh, there he is. He is back.
Lunch is back on the menu.
Okay, I don't know if it's even makes sense to mark anything. So this game's gotten tough. One of the other problems, if Rel just not did the one turn, is like with only 7 players, it would be pretty easy for Wolvez to one turn just back because he couldn't even, have a back line at all.
True.
So it's like, I mean, you really want to make it to turn 8.
Well,
now,
Gark, I think he's saying at the end there when the riot
I'm
happened,
talking about
if Rel one turn, that would have left Wolves a turn to one turn back in that situation.
Right, because of the riot, and then like you'd have to do it again. But even if you get the one turn, which is what, like 45% or whatever there, you have to maybe it's 50%. I'm not sure. I don't know exactly what it is with these guys.
Yeah.
I mean, I had if your one turner has edge 5 and there's not tackle on the back line, it jumps up like over 70% in a hurry.
Jeez.
But you gotta have the right things. But yeah, so even if you get it, like, if you're giving up one the other way more often, or often enough, then I think trying to 2-turn made the most sense. I'm not sure, about everything else, but I do think that. So I think it looks like Rel's just going to one turn here.
Yeah, not a lot of options for the old Rat Boys. Oh, changing his mind.
Okay.
He does realize this is not really a closed defensive screen, right? Or offensive screen.
I mean,
well, now it is, but
not it. Okay.
Stalling out for a turn. I mean, we can literally take the Bull Centaur, walk over there, and hit Mr. Mason. Granted, we'd be POW hunting, but
he might be trying to see if he can get Wolvez to throw some rerolls into something.
What? Bash coach using rerolls on stuff unnecessarily?
Well, it might even be necessary, right? But it just kind of depends on what happens. But if I'm Wolvez right now, I'm taking things pretty conservatively. I don't really care if Rel scores next turn. You know, I don't want to make it easy on him to score, but I don't think I'm going out of my way to like blitz the one turner or whatever. Just blitz the gutter, probably.
Boring,
Yeah.
but yeah.
And then you can put tackle on the ball.
Make a wall with your guard, stand firm, legion of. Oh, they don't have that skill.
No, but hey, I mean, it's working. So what can you say? You know, Rel's in tight spot here.
Yeah.
Wolves definitely has him where he wants him. I think that.
You know, it's at this point I'm starting to wonder: is Rel's team even good? There's no agility 5 gutter. There's no.
There's an agility 6 gutter.
Yeah, but like he's got the ball. He can't hand it off to a different gutter because they're just no good. They got no agility. They got no 2 heads. There's no wrestle. There's no strip ball.
I mean, he could hand it to Meyer, but no, I mean it's.
I'm just
I've
kind of kidding, but
I've talked about Rel's team. I don't love it.
How is it that 2 teams that we don't like that much? We don't think they're designed greatly, and they're getting this far in the playoffs.
Well,
this league's crazy, man. In a good way.
I can be wrong. B, I mean, me and Rel play a lot of the same teams very differently.
Because I love Stan.
I mean, is that
wrong?
No, stand firm is amazing.
Stand firm is the second best skill on strength teams besides guard.
I mean, yeah, it is. I'm
okay.
Just,
well, claws. Yeah, we're not going to have a discussion about claws.
I mean,
wussy shit. I'm saying it nicely.
Tentacles are better than claw anyway.
It's true. You can control your opponents more than you can control the armor rolls.
Now that is kind of true. I hate Blood Bowl 2020, and we haven't even switched to it. Still think Tense is good, but yeah, they're just gonna ruin everything.
Ruin all the fun stuff.
But yeah, Claw is worse as well. So, other that really matters. So I mean, Rel might just have to score.
2 plus, 3 plus, 3 plus, 3 plus, 2 plus kind of stuff. I mean, Meyer can come around and blitz the.
He could do that too, Amon. I mean, I would have probably just pulled all the way back to start with. Shocking.
If you weren't going to score, yeah.
But there's some things you can do. You can blitz.
I mean, our turn is starting with a 2 plus somewhere. It's going to be Meyer.
Right.
It's going to be Smith.
I mean, I think you could do it with Meyer, and then kind of depends on what happens.
6, 7,
if you don't use the reroll here, you can hand off potentially to Mason, and then you don't even have to really necessarily score with Mason. Although I don't know that there's reason not to. Like that, you're just not going to stall out long enough, I think, to really try to drag things out.
No. Let's get our KO. But that doesn't help.
Oof. Burnt the 1.
Oh, we have leap on this guy. That does change it a bit. But we don't want to use leap. We'd actually rather just dodge, right?
No, using leap's fine.
Okay. Oh, shoot.
Snaked.
He snaked it. The bane of gutter runners, the goal line.
Yep, that would do it.
Yep. Unless there's a snake back?
No, I think that just does it.
Okay, well, maybe right.
I'm willing to say that this is done.
I mean, to be fair, I said that on turn 1 for Rel when he snaked the first dodge through the blockers to try to get to the ball, but...
I mean, were you wrong?
Well, that helps. I mean, technically the game is not over yet, but... And he did have other shots at the ball after that.
I mean, good thing he has so many 4-eyed sure hands hobgoblins now that he had to use his reroll there.
That's true. The one time they're going to be handy.
Yeah, and the gutter in the back stunned as well. So, like, even if something fails here, it's not like you're going to be able to
Pick it up and score.
just score, right? I mean, I guess maybe you can set it up so somehow
Troy Smith
Meyer
is in
gets the
range.
ball and passes to Troy Smith, right? Like,
Yeah.
I mean, but yeah, this is almost certainly over. And that would we'll see. I mean, we don't know who Wolves would be playing yet.
It would mean 2 of our 4 final teams will be Chaos Dwarf teams. Ideologically opposed Chaos Dwarf teams.
It also would mean that we are 100% going to get a first-time champion.
Okay.
Which is kind of cool.
Also, if Rel loses, that would mean no agility, basically, in the final 4.
No, there would be none. Well, except for these Chaos Dwarfs.
Yeah, I guess so. Technically. I mean, to be fair, Iman, we saw a team earlier use Stand Firm quite often, and if they needed to, their one-turn defense would have been very, very potent thanks to all that Stand Firm. So I'm not sure where the Stand Firm hate's coming from. If you control the positioning, you control the blocks.
Look at how well it worked there.
Yeah. With who? With Meyer? Stand firm means stand firm implies you're already getting hit, and when they fail to knock you down, you punch them back. Or you don't give up your position, or they don't push you somewhere you don't want to be, or you don't get pushed into another block, or you don't get surfed. There's so many benefits to controlling space in this game.
I feel like Amon's trying to bait me into playing dwarves.
Huh. Please don't.
Me?
Anybody. Technically, I hate dwarves. They're boring to play against, boring to watch. I know you disagree with me, but it just...
Oh. Well, why dwarves are amazing. Although I'm definitely not playing dwarves if Asti switching to corn.
I did find that dynamic interesting when I was bad corn and OTS was dwarves. The stand firm versus the juggernaut, all this stuff. It's true. I don't know if new corn's can be that.
New corn can actually like take claw and stuff. I don't either, but I don't like when Asti wins Blood Bowl games, so I need to make that not happen.
No. Specifically, you don't like it when Asti wins against you or the Super Bowl. He can win other games. You don't care about other games.
I mean, he can win games as long as him winning benefits me.
That's fair.
Otherwise, I enjoy rooting against Asti, and he roots against me.
That's
great.
Probably not true.
I get messages from him all the time.
Players off the pitch over players standing still. If the players standing still are not in the position they want to be, and you have the ball somewhere else, or they can't get past you and can't score, it's fine. Players who are off the pitch might come back. You can't control armor breaks. You can't control number of pounds you get.
I do know what the most successful Nurgle team in CRP was, and yeah, they seem to think that positional skills are better at the major level, and they definitely backed it up with a bunch of major wins. So
yeah,
it definitely depends. It depends on how you're going to play. I mean, Stone Troll's not, he's a pretty unique player, but I think that you only need so many killers. At a certain point, it just gets. You need some. I'm not saying like you need no killers, but You'll
Yeah, even your team has Mighty Blow.
Besides, my issue with, it's not like Wolves even has Mighty Blow, right?
I mean, he would normally. He does right there on that player that just moved. But you're right.
And he does have one out of the game, but it's more just I don't really understand the, the plus MA and some of the other skills, but it's working. So what do I know?
Yeah.
It's not like I know how to play Chaos Dwarfs.
It's true. I am dog shit with them as well.
Exactly, Dutch.
I mean, he's also not playing Camry, so I mean, it certainly helps. No offense. And please, Dutch, do yourself a favor and switch to something better. Like, I know you enjoy the Camry and the bungles have like the cool logo and stuff.
Yeah,
but goddamn, man, just play something better.
Have you ever considered playing a good team in anything? Oh, guard's amazing. If that's what you're saying.
Earlier when I said stand firm is the second best skill, guard was implied as the first best skill.
And I think Mighty Blow is very good. I just think you need some stand firm in there because you need to be able to hold space. But the thing is, I really like your Nurgle team.
Amon's Nurgle team is amazing
because there's a nice mix of everything, right? You have a couple of the stand firm, and they're really hard to move. So you can hold space when you need to, and then you have some players who can remove when you need to.
I was about to suggest we just run backwards as Wolves, but technically the scoring threat is still over there, so actually I'm not sure that's beneficial. Frenzy on the Bloater. I don't think I would want Frenzy on MA4.
I mean, that is what I'd say to take is stand firm. So I do think especially in Blood Bowl 2020, now that there's no natural one-turners and people being able to use multiple rerolls on the one turn, having 3 stand firm is going to be pretty valuable.
That'll win you a game or two every season, and an extra game or two can get a team into the playoffs.
That being said, it does sound like there's going to be less.
Helps.
Well, you have Wintergreen in your division, so that alone would help. And Lizards will be good against because skinks are skinks, especially when they have Edge 4, and they can pass a little bit better with the Chameleons.
But Chameleon Skinks, the new meta or?
I think in NBFL you should have one, just because it's marginally better at passing. So why not? And the kickoff return thing helps.
True.
And it's interesting. I've only dabbled in Blood Bowl 2020, but I've had some turns at the NAF style level where I kind of forget that I can use multiple rerolls, but then it's I can do this what still feels to me like an overly risky score, and it's going to take an adjustment for sure. That being said, Gark, I don't agree with you, but that's fine. I think that you're going to have way too many rerolls, and it will cost games. But I do think being able to manage your rerolls is going to be a big deal.
I mean, on a Wood Elf team that has built-in catch, built-in dodge, maybe because you just have so many freebies, and then you can re-roll the ones that aren't freebies, or you're marked by tackle.
There we go. I was going to say, if this foul didn't break armor, there was a chance. Well, we'll see at this rate. We might not
this
even
is
have
actually got a -2 on the ball in here. Okay, that doesn't help. That doesn't help much more.
Yeah, so it'll be interesting. So the Chaos Dwarves will be back into the AFC title game. We kind of did say that this game would be likely decided one way or the other very quickly. Yeah. And I would say that it was decided one way in maybe there were some few chances, but
But the best opportunity for Rel
was right away.
was
and
right
that doesn't
away
work.
when that snake bit him in the ass.
And kind of with aim on that, it may have been a little too early, just because I think more information is good, but it is what it is. We'll definitely miss having Roll around.
Yeah, great dude, great coach.
That being said, I am really glad that he would not win a Super Bowl with Rats.
No one has. Actually, I just made that statement without really thinking about it.
No,
someone did in Seattle.
Seattle,
Yeah.
Seattle something. I don't remember the coach.
It's true.
Centric?
We could have double Lizard Chaos Dwarf semis.
Let me see if I can find it. It was what, season
11-9?
Yeah, it was Cyric. It was Cyric. Because when I first showed up with mine, people were like, Cyric 6112, 612, 612, whatever. Yeah. He went 33-7-5 with him.
Oh,
good.
Was he a good coach?
Oh well, 10 of those are builders. So he went 23-7-5. But yeah, I mean, he won a Super Bowl. I'm.
Did you? I know you keep leaving these very small chances, but why?
What?
There's a shot on the ball here. I mean, you're agility 5. You can dodge in to almost anything, but it's just why? Why are we playing with our food? I mean, we do have the blitz available still, but
yeah, there's not a 1-die guard, but I mean, there's. Yeah, I mean, it's one of those things that definitely, perturbs me a little bit. It's like, okay, I mean, if you're going to leave this open, you deserve to lose to it. But it's not how it works.
No, otherwise you would have beaten JR several times in the playoffs.
Oh, God.
Should I have not brought that up? Yeah.
Let's not go into that one. Yeah, we'll see. So, Chaos Dwarves versus either Lizards or Nurgle.
No, Chaos.
Chaos? Whatever.
Yeah. Of course, we don't like how either the Lizards or the Chaos are built, so apparently the AFC is just full of teams that we don't agree or with their design philosophy and.
I mean, I like
large.
There's only one thing I don't like about the Chaos. I just don't like the Edge 4 blocker, but the current one's not nearly as bad as the old one. And hey, he had his best season now that he doesn't have that ridiculous player. But the rest of the team's pretty nice. And then Jamon's
blockers were kind of strangely built at this point.
No, he has a rookie.
Only one has stand firm, so that's a red flag. All 3 have guard. That's fine.
None of it's that weird. It's just there's skills I don't necessarily value, but plenty of people take.
Tackle. There's only 1 tackle on the 3 of them. But there's a
and then, the
rest of the team is pretty good though. You got your dirty player.
And Jamon's issues more just he has a lot of skink bloat, although is the problem. His players are interesting, but they're not bad except for the.
How did the NFC versus AFC work out? No idea. That's first half of the season kind of shit.
It was.
Wow. Okay. I mean, this is
probably
something.
I don't think we've ever had a conference that was more dominant than this year's AFC. Is how it worked out.
That doesn't sound right.
I mean, just so.
No.
It is.
Disagree.
It just is.
Okay.
No. The NFC has substantially more ties and substantially more losses.
Remember early in the season when people were waving the AFC East banners saying all 4 teams were better than all the NFC teams, and Jeffro, who's in 4th place, had more points than all the NFC East teams and shit, and then joke's on him, he missed the playoffs. Ryan Fitz missed the playoffs. NFC East had 2 teams in the playoffs. Yes.
Hold on. So you're saying these teams that clearly demonstrated they were better than the teams in the NFC missed the playoffs because they were in the AFC?
No. I'm saying that the AFC East got to eat a little bit of crow for talking so much shit.
I mean, but we're talking about the AFC at large.
But we're talking about two AFC East teams in this game, and Gark was here, so I'm just trying to throw him some softballs over the middle of the plate.
No, Gark, you lost to the AFC teams, then won a bunch of games against the NFC at the end.
That doesn't sound right either.
But yeah, so I don't know. I don't even know what I was going to say anymore.
It's true. They
I
made
got
fun of the
distracted.
points, and then Gark finished with more points than
Anyway,
most teams. Yeah.
oh, basically. But everyone but Drew, and he tied with Malcor.
Yeah.
But my point is, anyone could have done that in the NFC East.
Disagree.
That's all I'm
I don't think I could have done that in the NFC East. Anyways, no, AFC East, very good division. Unfortunately, Rel looks like he might be leaving.
Yeah. And how many NFC East teams are still alive? That's what I want to know.
Yeah, more than the AFC South.
No, that's not true.
They made it further than the AFC South, so.
Yeah, that's fine. That means Asti didn't win, so I'm fine with it.
He should have won, though. God. He should have beaten New Zealand. New Zealand should not have been beating Miami. So, in theory, Miami right now should be in the AFC Championship game. But it's all because of Asti. We can just all agree to blame him for everything.
I mean, that's always a pretty safe thing to do. And he might switch off the Orcs after one season, which is just like, I told him not to switch because I knew he wanted to switch to Corn.
Yeah, but his Norse were like so beat up. Anyways,
yeah,
but
yeah. And I would have won the division again. But no, you had to switch teams.
You could have just rolled better in a couple of games.
I could have played better.
Yeah, well, that's neither here nor there. If anything,
or my opponents could have played worse.
Yeah, your opponents could have played worse, or I could have predicted better because.
No, I don't think I was all that unlucky this season or anything. I just got beat.
Happens to everybody.
Except for against Asti.
Yeah.
I was unlucky against Asti.
Damn cheater is what he is.
He had a free draw because I had, and then he just decided to score early for no reason, and then he wasn't punished for it. And it was like,
damn.
There were snakes. He cage dived me.
Is there even a god? Some would say maybe.
So
I don't
think you scored.
think you scored.
I don't think it matters when you score.
Yeah, like if I was like, okay, if he scores, then Rel scores. Is there any way for Rel to like? I guess he could set up for turn 16 and get a blitz. No.
No, I think I'm trying to get. I think I wait till turn 16 and I try to hand off to the Chaos Dwarf blocker who only has 2, maybe.
Yeah, good. I mean, let's see. Andre Tippett's at 160 now. Get him to 163. Get an MVP. That's 168. Could you conceivably give him 8 more SPPs for the Super
next
Bowl?
game?
Not
Yeah,
likely,
you could.
But it's
And I guess the
possible.
one on 2 is an MVP away.
Yeah.
I mean, no. I mean, it's not all that hard. That being said, I mean, we'll see. I do think that. Okay, I mean, I'm not gonna say anything about this Chaos Dwarf team. I clearly don't know shit. Like, I was gonna say I think the next game is gonna be hard for him just with how weak his blockers are. But then I was like, well, he has one at 7, which I'd say
Guard.
please take guard. That's all I have to say.
He's gonna double and he's gonna take claw.
I mean, if he doubles, taking claw is at least reasonable.
That's fair.
All right. Well, this was a game to commentate on.
It's true. All right. That is another game down. One team is set for the AFC Championship game. Other to be determined Friday, Saturday, potentially. All right. Well, if you're around Saturday and that's when the game is, I might see you there. It's so damn early. I didn't get up till after 12:30 today.
That's where I'm at. Is it's early. Like, so we'll see. I don't know.
Yeah. We'll figure it out. Thank everybody who was watching now, and we'll bring to you more games in the future, hopefully.
All right. So that was fun, I guess. Not really.